In that case, I will call this meeting to order. If you, as you are able and willing, please stand for the pledge. I pledge allegiance to the flag
of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Good evening. Thank you all for coming. We have no one who has signed up to deliver public comment tonight, so we'll move right into the report of the secretary. May I have a motion, please, to approve the minutes of our last meeting?
I move to approve the minutes of the regular meeting of Wednesday, wrong one. Sorry. I move to approve the minutes of the regular meeting of Wednesday, January 7th, 2026.
I'll second Lisa.
Lisa, thank you. Comments or questions?
That's great.
Yep, as usual. All in favor? Okay, that's 6-0. We have approved minutes. That brings us to the report of the chair. I'll give a quick MSBA update to begin. We're in the middle of our preparations now for the Leadership and Advocacy Seminar and Institute in Washington, D.C. At the end of this month. The 4 officers are going. A big part of that will be visiting with probably the staff members of our representatives and senators in Washington to talk about educational priorities. And all the things you think are on the list are, I promise you, on the list.
That's
It's
amazing.
federal funding, it's continued support for education. So that's happening.
And there are a couple of meetings coming up that the rest of us could participate in.
Yes,
online,
absolutely.
right?
The
I know there's like several dates.
Yes, so I actually thank you for reminding me that the January set of board development meetings, we're now calling them board development meetings.
Yeah.
We had the first one on Monday, and there's one next week and one the following week. Please feel free to attend. It's a
hope to make
1.5
it next
hours,
week.
actually this one hour, 15 minutes Zoom call. We had Scott Levy, the author of Why School Boards Matter, come and give a 20-minute presentation. So that was taped in the first.
Oh, good.
Taped. That was recorded. And that will be replayed at each of the subsequent meetings. So if any of you have time to catch one of those,
Yeah.
please, I recommend it.
Okay.
Board self-evaluation. So to get that kick-started, I asked the folks at the central office to just send that link out, and you've all gotten it. Please do that. And once all of the results are in, we'll workshop as a board to see where we landed with the results and to discuss what we should do going forward.
Did everybody get that link from
Yeah.
Terry?
I got it.
Yes.
Worked great. And it was-
Yes.
Yes.
And I haven't started it yet, but
Yeah. Great.
yes, thank you.
That's great.
So what's the deadline for that? Like in the next week or so?
Yeah, I'd say try to do it
Finish
next
it.
week. So
Okay.
we
Yeah.
haven't established a deadline.
Yeah.
We'll probably
This week.
have a workshop sometime in
February.
February.
Yeah,
It
so
won't
this
take more than
week-
half an hour. Second
This
meeting
week
in
or so
February.
would be
Yeah.
good. Okay.
I can try.
30 questions. Won't take that long. Thirdly, we had the meeting with the town officials today. I was not present, but a couple of you were at
Yes.
least. Yes? Would you mind giving us an update?
Sure thing.
Thank you.
Mostly, as usual, all 3 of us talking about budget mostly, South Berwick, their budget's in progress. They touched upon there's going to be traffic light meetings or hearing, and those are about the lights in downtown South Berwick, not the lights out here. But there does seem to be an update on the DOT website about the light outside the high school. So basically, they were under the impression that means it's actually really going to happen next year.
Wow.
And
That's
so
good.
we did just sort of talk about maybe touching base to see if that's work that could happen over the summer. We don't know how much pull we have, but maybe just putting a plug in that if it could happen over the summer to minimize impact
Yeah.
during the school year. They don't
But
expect
whenever
it.
it happens, we'll be glad.
Oh, yeah, no,
Well,
like,
no matter
we'll
what.
make it
And they don't
work.
expect
Yeah.
it will take all that long anyways.
Yeah.
And they're putting in the light, but they weren't going to put in the state is not covering the crosswalk portion, so South Berwick will be funding the
Oh,
crosswalk
good.
portion. Yeah. The town hall renovation's in progress in South Berwick. And of note, police have increased speed enforcement in South Berwick. They had 300 people pulled over in the last 2 weeks, so watch out in South Berwick.
Thank you for that.
Yeah. That's up.
And then in Elliott, their budget is also in process. They have a budget committee meeting tonight. We got to see sort of the sample mock-up, I guess, of the Hammond Park project / pavilion that's being proposed. And that will be a separate article on the Elliott ballot to see if that will be funded or not. But it's this beautiful pavilion, reminded me of the one in Kennebunk with the ice skating pavilion, but they'll be able to have farmers markets and a skating surface, because the pond out there gets lots of ice skating use, but it's weather dependent. So this will be sort of that ice skating surface. And it will just be, and there'll be a warming shelter that's proposed, so it just will be a lovely addition. And Elliott Elementary would get to benefit because it's directly across the street.
Oh my
They'd
gosh.
put in a crosswalk, yeah.
So
it'd be
amazing.
awesome. Yeah.
Wow.
Touched briefly upon the sewer extension. There wasn't much of an update there, but just that they're looking at it. And then that there's 2 positions open still at the police department. And then for us, we mostly talked about the dates for the budget, for the district budget meeting. We have that 30 days, needs to be 30 days between the town needs and the school needs and all these legal things. So we're just trying to nail down a date, but it looks like we had thought maybe May 11th, but it looks like maybe May 7th. Was there any further?
So Ryan reached out to the attorneys today to get clarity on whether or not it was a 30-day or 45-day, because there was some discrepancy between what we thought and what Wendy thought. So we don't have the answer back from
Okay.
them, but I imagine we'll know in the next couple days.
Okay.
So yeah, either the 7th or the 11th are the 2 days we're looking at right now.
Okay, but it's not, either one is not the typical Wednesday.
One would be a Monday,
so-
one would be a Thursday.
Yeah, so just an FYI, but more to come on that.
Yep.
That's pretty much all I have. Oh, we're gonna meet the 3rd week of February instead of, is that
Yes.
right?
Yes.
The 3rd week of February, yeah.
Instead of
Um,
the 11th.
instead of the
Yeah, It'll be
11th,
the
yeah.
18th.
That's all I
Very
got.
good, thank you.
Yeah.
Okay, last thing on my list, superintendent search update. You've all received an email from the central office with regard to bias training and confidentiality. So please attend to that as quickly as you can. I checked the website. We do have one candidate already submitted, so the candidates hopefully will start rolling in shortly. We're going to need to start the exercise of screening those. Okay.
Good.
That concludes my report and brings us to the report of the superintendent.
All right, excellent, thank you. So first thing on my report tonight is a presentation from Marshwood Middle School. It's their turn to highlight what's going on at Marshwood Middle School, so I'm going to turn it over to Mrs. Goulet and her team.
Well, I am not going to speak long. I am going to hand it over to Barb Mundell and Tracy Lapointe, as they have taken over and created the Growing Hawks program at Marshwood Middle School. So I'm going to have them come up and introduce our student as well for that. So come on up. Oh, Tracy, will you introduce the 2 young students that were here?
Yes, I
earlier
will. So the 2 students that were here are Jojo Pouliot and Elsa Novak, and they're both 8th graders, and they're taking the ASL class that we provided this year through an online program, and so they come every day to class. All of their schoolwork is through online. I just oversee what they're doing, but they have been doing, they did announcements with you, with the Pledge of Allegiance. They did a little bit of the concert last night, and I know they're planning to do the spring with a few other students as they get comfortable in what they're learning. And we're hoping maybe even get to the pre-K in Elliott to share what they're learning. So that's who was here. So thank you for that. And I told them to go home because they were out last night with a concert. They're both in the play and had already been here 3 to 5 this afternoon. So they didn't, they weren't trying to be rude or anything. I said, go home.
That's great, thank you.
And so first of all, good evening and thank you for having us here tonight. I'm Tracy Lapointe and I work with gifted and talented students, but I also work with a variety of students at our school, 6th, 7th, and 8th graders. And Barbara Mundell is also here, and she is an ed tech in our building, and she's also a teacher for the Growing Hawks class. And you will get to meet Evie Randall in a few minutes, who's our student who's going to present to you this Growing Hawks experience and how she has experienced it and what she's learned. So we're really glad that she's here. So thank you for having us. This past summer, Barb and I actually met all summer long to put together this course. We did a scope and sequence, and we actually did daily lesson plans for 5 units. And what was exciting was, this was your vision, and she, when I say she, Principal Goulet, and she trusted us to move forward with this, and always, checking in with her and what we were doing. But we really enjoyed getting together and putting together this course. Now, we hadn't taught it yet, and so now we've done it twice because it is a allied art, so it meets every 9 weeks. And so we've had one group go through, and we're almost done with our second group of students. So I have the students in the afternoon, and Barb has them in the morning. So there are 2 classes every day for the 6th graders. And what do I want to say about that? It's been interesting because the first time through, I think we were learning what is the course, what works. We had done these daily lesson plans, and yet we really hadn't had students yet. Now that we've had our students for the first quarter, now we're into that second, we could work together, revise what really works well. And I'm going to tell you, those 6th graders are amazing. They engage like every day. They're ready to go, and they want to talk, and they share, and so they really are learning about themselves, and the skills that they're learning are executive functioning skills. They're skills that they will use really their entire life. And they're also just finding what works well for them, what works best for them. So we're not saying you have to do it just this way. We're actually sharing a variety of information, and they're learning about who they are as people and as students. So I guess the only last piece I want to say, and I'm going to turn it over to Barb, is that I just felt that as they learn and they grow, I really believe the skills are having an impact, and they get to keep all of their resources. So they walk away with a binder, which Elliott Connects so kindly donated. But they have this binder that if they want to look at it a week from now, if they want to look at it a year from now, I told them, keep it for high school, keep it for college, keep it for life. There's material in there that they have this toolbox that's going to help them be successful, both as students and just as people interacting in a working world. So now I'd like Barb to share with you. She has a slideshow that she really put it together and shared it with our faculty this fall. And it really is about what are those 5 units, what are we doing? So she will share that, and then I know she's going to turn it over to Evie.
Good evening, members of the school board and the community. My name is Ms. Barbara Mundell. I'm an ed technician. Yes.
Yes, I just want to make sure you're close enough, that the microphone is close enough to you.
Oh, okay. Oh, turn it there.
Not for people in the room, but for the
people
live
at
stream.
home. Yeah.
Good evening. I'll
Thank
start
you,
over. Members of the school board and the community. My name is Barbara Mundell. I'm an ed technician and Growing Hawks instructor for Marshwood Middle School. I am presenting this class that teaches executive functioning skills to help students organize, plan, and succeed both in academics and in everyday life. This class is currently serving 6th grade students during Allied Art Times. A morning session which I taught is taught by me, and an afternoon session is taught by Tracy LaPointe. Through Christine's vision, each student builds a personalized resource binder with principles and strategies tailored to their learning styles, tools they can use immediately and continue developing as independent learners. It is our hope that every student in middle school will have taken this course before entering high school, equipped with personalized toolkit for success. Tonight, I will walk you through our 5-unit plan that Tracy and I, over the summer, developed. Let's take a look and enjoy. Growing Hawks. Soar to new heights in middle school. You are about to master the skills that will transform your academic journey and unlock your true potential. Get ready for something amazing. This year, you're getting incredible opportunity. Growing Hawks is not just another class. It is your personal toolkit for middle school success and beyond. What makes this course special? It's built for you. Real results. Future ready. Now let's dive in. Your 5 superpowers. They are amazing skills you will master to become unstoppable. Unit 1, executive functioning. Unit 2, time management. 3 would be communication. 4 would be study strategies. And 5 will be collaboration. Unit 1, know your superpowers. When students are entering this course, they will have a plan to identify what executive functioning is, personalized strategies and challenges, their personal learning style. How do they learn? How do they grow? We focus on growth mindset and also includes personal reflection and time. So every unit, the students reflect on their work and their time being spent. Unit 2, organization mastery. So it's broken down into categories: physical and mental organization, time blocking techniques, smart prioritizing, chunking strategies, beating procrastination, and includes reflection and practice. Unit 3, communication champion. Active learning, listening skills, verbal communication, nonverbal communication, written communication, and at last, self-advocacy. How can they be an advocate for themselves? They will have the tools they need to be able to proactively advocate for themselves. And it includes communication practices. Unit 4, study like a pro. Active learning techniques, strategies, and note-taking. We focus on 3 styles, which is Cornell notes, 2-column notes, and mapping. And not everyone is great with those, but when they know their learning styles, they will have the tools in that binder to be able to resource and know how to do it that fits their needs. Personal study environment, where to study, at home and maybe in school. Also, study session planning, self-care strategies. It's so important for now and today to be able to have self-care techniques. This includes study planning practices as well. Unit 5, we love Unit 5, as I'm seeing my students soar. Collaboration like a superstar, working together, understanding different roles when you're in groups, personal accountability, what your role is, how are you going to work with others. Also, adaptability skills, creative problem solving, and effective feedback, proactive, positive, and we also do reflections at the end of every year. This is going to be amazing. Growing Hawks is designed specifically for you. Every lesson, every activity, every skill you learn is going to make your middle school experience so much better and set you up for incredible success. By the end of this course, you will have the confidence to tackle any challenge, organization skills that make life easier, communication superpowers, study strategies that actually work, teamwork skills that impress everyone, a mindset, which is so important, that helps you grow every day. Get ready to become the best version of yourself. Stars that turned brain differences into superpowers. Famous people who have shared their life experiences with organization, focusing, and planning challenges. This slide, I feel that relates to kids. It's not just kids, but it's also people that are in society that have beaten these odds and practice. So Michael Phelps is an Olympics swimmer, and he had trouble sitting, focusing in school. He used swimming to channel energy and become the most decorative Olympian. Emma Stone, a desirable actress who struggled with anxiety, focus issues, found that acting helped her channel her emotions and energy in a positive way. Justin Timberlake, a singer, an actor, has spoken about trouble with organization and staying focused. Music became his superpower for expression and success. Your brain works in its own amazing way. Now that you have heard directly from, now I would like you let's start again. We practiced this, didn't we? Now I would like for you to hear directly from someone who has experienced Growing Hawks firsthand. Evelyn Randall is one of my 6th grade students who have been using the skills and strategies from this class in her everyday learning. Welcome to the podium, Evelyn Randall.
Yay.
Sure.
Good evening, members of the school board. My name is Evelyn Randall, and I'm here tonight to talk about the class that has truly changed how I approach my learning. I took Growing Hawks in quarter 1 with Ms. Mundell, and I wanted to share how this class has taught and inspired me to grow independently as a learner. First, the small class sizes made a huge difference. I received specific focus on what I needed to become a productive student. got to know friends from the other team, and Miss Mundell felt more like a mentor than just a teacher. That personal connection helped me feel comfortable taking risks with my learning. One of the most valuable things I learned was about myself. We took tests to identify our learning styles and multiple intelligences profiles. Understanding how my brain works best helped me study smarter, not just harder. And that's something I'll use for the rest of my life. The class also taught me practical skills for my busy schedule. We learned time blocking, how to chunk big projects into smaller pieces, and ways to avoid procrastination, which I really needed help with. I also practiced public speaking and learning self-advocacy. I'm now better at recognizing passive communication, which helps me include my peers in conversations, and speaking up for myself when I need to. Finally, we learned how to study efficiently using the Pomodoro method and different note-taking strategies like mapping, Cornell notes, 2-column notes. Now I can choose the method that works best for each subject. I strongly feel this course should be open to all grades in middle school to prepare students for high school and beyond. The skills I learned aren't just for now. There are tools I'll use throughout my education and life. In this video,
It's coming.
okay.
We're doing it.
Yes.
Here we go.
In this video, you'll hear from my peers as they each share one executive functioning skill they've learned in Growing Hawks that's helped them succeed to their classes. Let's watch.
Effort, responsibility, organization, effort, self-monitoring, self-control, organization,
Any questions?
First of all,
Well done.
I think I have about a million questions.
I know. Awesome, yes.
Do you want to show?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, show them the binder.
yes.
We can pass it around.
This is the binder I received in Growing Hawks. It has all 5 of my units and all the things we did in them. So this one, we have,
Yeah.
this was part of the communication lesson. We learned how we should talk to like conversations to people, and what you should and shouldn't do. And we were told how this could help in your future life, like job interviews. Yeah. And we learned like I'm a kinesthetic learner, so I now know that pictures and things I can feel helps me study better. In my, like what I said earlier, the Pomodoro method, which is I study for 20 and then I have a break for 5 minutes and then I go back to the studying for 20 minutes, has helped me, and it just helped me step away from my learning so I can come back with a fresh mind. Yeah, and I use my self-advocacy notes for me when I need extra time on a test or on an assignment. I use communication so I can monitor how other people might feel about how I'm saying the things I'm saying.
Wow.
This is like,
Unbelievable.
unbelievable.
I know.
So, do I understand that not all students get to have this?
It's brand new.
Right now, all sixth grade students are going to,
All sixth grade students, okay,
This year.
Yes.
okay.
So this is new for this year. So
Okay.
what happens right now is seventh grade teachers and eighth grade teachers have come to us through the bar process and said, hey, since these seventh and eighth grade students haven't been able to have this,
Yeah.
we would like to say, we would like to bring, we would like,
Yeah.
can we recommend these students for this? So Barb will be, we already just talked today, we have 13 kids that Barb will be giving seventh grade students for third quarter, and then she has 12 kids for eighth grade
Okay.
for the fourth quarter.
Good.
So,
Good.
And I think our vision is to give this opportunity and open it up to 6th, 7th, and 8th in the morning Allied Arts for them. So
Okay.
they have the opportunity. Since Evelyn was speaking so greatly about the small class sizes, we would love to have, our goal was to have every sixth grader go through this
Yeah.
program before moving on. But because it's so catered to the person, we feel that having the small class sizes and they have the ability to grow independently, and they'll have these tools to go to high school and beyond.
yes.
Some of these, they'll have extra copies of different note styles. They have cheat sheets based on their multi-intelligence. It also, it's amazing how it breaks down into what multi-intelligent person you are. And it also caters what job, professional job
Yeah.
outside of high school. So it gives them a thought of like, hey, I
Yeah.
can do this.
I
I'm
have
great
it.
with my hands.
Yes.
I want to work in trade. I can go to school and do this,
Yeah.
or, you know, I just need that hands-on experience. So taking these, this course helps you build that portfolio for the individual. So, and this program is developed for 6th, 7th, and 8th, so there's no changing it, it's just, it's not, that 7th grader will get more advanced.
Okay.
It is sticks to the basics, and it adapts to all 3 grades. So that's the beauty of it.
Yeah.
So that is our hope to do, and Evelyn, you did such an amazing
Yay! So
So
good.
proud of you.
Yeah.
And you're a rock star, and your peers as well, they're rock stars too. And thank you so much for bravely coming up and
Yeah.
speaking.
Yeah. That is not easy. That is not
She
easy at
actually, I
all.
would say, she actually practiced in front of some of her peers.
Oh, wow.
Yes, so preparing for this.
Wow.
Another question, do you have a question for either Evelyn, Tracy, or myself as the process? Do you have any questions for us?
I have a question and a comment. So
Sure.
my question is, back in the day,
Yeah.
and you guys might remember this, there was a predecessor to this program that only certain kids got to have. But I'm just going to say, having had a child who went through that program, this is so up here. And I think that just goes to show the power of giving the people who are with our kids every day the opportunity to create something that's going to work for our students and individualized. Individualized, that's the key.
That is very key.
Because we all learn differently, our kids learn differently, they have different styles of operating, executive functioning, all the things that you've talked about. And I just want to say kudos to this team for making this happen. It's brilliant and it's so needed, and I would really love to make sure that all of our students get not only an opportunity, but maybe a requirement to have this, because it's so obvious that this is the most important thing that we can give our kids. Yeah, thank you.
And I also have shown, as I'm learning through the quarters, of also, and Evelyn is part of the first class in our first quarter that we did, but learning as we go, but also, I have interviewed high school students and having their experience come in and what works for them, what type of studying strategies, how to prioritize, what works for them, and how they are as a learner. And so it's pretty amazing.
Do your students get to hear from them?
They will,
Like,
because
oh, okay, yeah.
honestly, as we grow, because this, it was
Yeah.
a piloted first quarter, and then we've had this second quarter, so it's only been 2 quarters. But as we were working this summer, and now we're jumping into it, we're learning as we grow, and it's so powerful, the tools that also our older peers in the high school, and even some college and college grads. My children went through Marshwood District, and now they are in their adult professional lives, but also they've also shared their personal, what worked for them. And so it's just an amazing program, and I think with our backgrounds and our workshops that we've been through, just made it all happen this summer, and the vision with Christine, just in the forefront of saying, hey, we would love this, and then take it. And then Tracy and I had a great summer.
Yeah.
And I just want to add 2
Busy.
comments. One is that right now, we've also worked with the 6th grade teachers so that the language that we're using in our class, they wanted to know, what are you doing, what language are you? And so I said in Mrs. Schaff's room, and she's using the exact same, language that we've just been using in Growing Hawk. So there's, students are seeing the transfer of skills and knowing they're not just teaching us this and it goes to the wayside. It's actually happening in the classroom.
Working.
And I just think the other neat thing is that whole piece about reflection. Because I know, especially at the high school and 9th graders, I know that they, many of the teachers use that as part of the learning process, reflecting on what they know ahead of time, what did they learn when they finished, a particular unit. So we're doing the same thing and having students really think about their learning and what have they learned and what are they using and what might they need some more help with. But we start the unit, the whole course, with create your own optimal learning space. And so some
This is before showing
before
this.
any of that, right.
They just
So
jump right
smart.
in, hands-on.
And some have been posters and a mess, right? I mean, it was just interesting. Some have been definitely made out of, cardboard boxes, or they're just setting up their desk. But then we come back to that in the middle of the course and at the end. So they can say, what would I change? What would I add? Knowing now the various skills.
So
that go into
interactive.
studies and being organized.
Right. And
Love
with
that.
these tools, just to give you an idea, when they have this binder, and especially with 6th graders, they're merging from dependence and becoming independent learners. So, and we're very careful, like when we express in our classes, that you have these tools, but you are emerging learners, becoming independent. And let's try one thing, because we don't want to overwhelm you with all these things. But this is a guide that will help you. So when you're learning some strategies in our classroom, then you're going to apply just one strategy that you learned, and let's apply that in your classes. So it kind of just complements them as they practice. It's not homework, because they're just taking a skill and just trying it in their classes. And as they get better through practice, they will develop into becoming more independent as they grow. And, they do grow. So yeah, so any other questions? Yes.
Is there any sort of, do you follow up with parents? I feel like this would be so helpful as a parent to know, you can say to your child, advocate for yourself, go talk to the teacher, tell them you need more time, or keep a date book, try this, try that, and it falls on deaf ears as a parent, you know what I mean? Is there some sort of way for this communal language that you're saying the same thing at home that they're hearing at school?
So we do touch upon how to advocate for yourself and also reach out to your support person. They get, in our first quarter, our students came up with a support person that they feel comfortable with in the building, and also a support person that they feel comfortable outside at home. So who are their go-to person? And then they, as they're learning how to communicate, we learn how to formally compose an email. So in that email that welcomes their support, and the parent knows what one organization tool that they're gonna use, and they're asking, saying, hey, why I'm a dependent learner going into be an independent learner, this is what I'm gonna practice, can you help me? So these are the things that we are like moving forward with, but it's also important that the teacher or building support person knows, because when they go into hot time at the end of the day or in the middle of the day, depending on the grade they're in, they will be able to reach out to that support person, and that support person will understand what their goal is in the moment. And then as they progress further in their grades, they'll be able to grow independently and have all these tools for high school and beyond.
It's so thoughtful. It's so
Well, thank
thoughtfully designed
Yeah,
and
very
so
thorough.
integrated. It's really brilliant.
Well, it's about the students and how they learn, and as a student myself growing, becoming an adult, there's the average learner, but then there's different styles, and I've always just grown up as listening to, oh, there's only this way. So I've been very passionate about expressing who you are as an individual learner, and with a passion for you. And so our vision when we met this summer was just truly amazing, and the opportunity that you gave us, and the vision you had to give this opportunity to the middle school.
And it's been very interesting to listen to students. Like, you truly, I mean, yes, we start our classes, but probably could step out just a little bit, and they are sharing what they do and what they're learning and what works for them.
Yeah.
Versus, so you hear all these different stories. I mean, they are vocal, which is really neat. They're very, very engaged in what we're doing. Who would think when you're doing skills, and this is going to help you in the future, like, really, this is going to be something that's interesting, and I want, the time goes like this. I don't have a clock that works, but I have a student that watches watches the time for me. No, and it's good though, in a way, but he watches the time because we will go over. Like, they just want to keep going and going, and I've had students even say to me, tomorrow, can I do this? And plan a little bit of, because I do a do now when we first start.
Yeah.
It's usually a little bit of review of the day before, and they're putting it together. They want to do some of this.
I
So it's
love
really
that.
becoming their course too, and not just something that we're saying, here you go. Oh yeah, you are amazing. Yes,
Yeah.
I know that.
One
to share.
example of taking knowledge from Growing Hawks back to home is I was having not a fun time with homework, and I was like up in bed because I was frustrated because it was a lot of homework that night. And then my mom came in and we started talking, and I said, Mom, let's try to make an Eisenhower matrix. And that helped me organize and prioritize.
It was like 9:40 at night.
Come
Let's
on.
make an Eisenhower matrix.
Okay, sure. Tell me about that.
So that's one of the tools they do learn on how to prioritize their thoughts, right?
Awesome. It was awesome.
Cool.
Wow.
And I learned
Yes,
so much.
thank you.
Yes, right.
A couple more quick questions. I'll ask it generally, whoever wants to try to answer it. So we think we're going to try to catch all the sixth graders this year?
Yeah.
Okay.
We're gonna try.
And
We
the upper
don't know
grades,
we'll get 'em
the other grades as well? I mean, we get, with our Rollinsford students, we certainly want them to be able to benefit from this as well. We don't get them till seventh.
So what we did, when we first we tapped into Jerry, Great Works, and we said, okay, some students at sixth grade, who do you think really doesn't need the organizational piece of it? Like, who's got it? so we kind of tiered some of those out.
Sure.
And so we took some of those out, so we might be able to hit the majority, so we have those names out. 7th grade, we've gotten the students, even the Rollinsford kids, those teachers are giving us those kids through BAR. So we have those kids' names on there through BAR of who needs it. So we're kind of tiering it through that way.
Excellent.
And our vision is offering in the fall, the morning Allied Arts 6th, 7th, and 8th, for those kids who haven't had the opportunity
Yeah.
to experience growing hops.
And I will say too, because we have all levels, and we have students that
Yeah.
are, like, at GT special, so my GT students are in this class.
Yeah.
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 You know
So
what I'm
well,
saying?
I think
So
that's,
it's
like,
every-
Oh, yeah.
It's not just,
important
it's
pieces,
about the
like-
skills,
Yeah.
because I do know that we have top students who go through Marshwood.
That's
And
just it.
sometimes they come
Yes.
back.
And they-
and
Yes.
say, I really didn't know how to.
Yes.
do that." You know what I'm
Exactly,
saying? So it's
exactly.
Giving them those tools, those skills, it doesn't matter
Who you are.
Yes. So I think
Those are
that was
life
my
skills.
concern is
Find out
that
who you are
when you
as a
start,
person and
like,
all.
looking at who needs the organization, you can have kids who look like they don't,
Right.
or
That's
high
right.
achievers who look like they
That's my,
don't,
that's
but
my
they don't know
question.
how to
Yeah.
write an email, or they actually
Right.
are
On the
just like,
surface,
can
looks
memorize.
fine,
You're
but-
gonna
Or
think
communicate.
that a high achiever is not going to need it.
That's not
but
true.
Not at all
not
true.
true.
You
Yes.
said the Eisenhower meeting, or how do I prioritize?
Yeah.
Well, and it's a
Or
skill, yes.
They procrastinate, or if they're
Or the
feeling
advocacy
overwhelmed,
piece,
like,
of the
yeah.
all the
All of it.
communication
All
stuff,
of
like
it.
it's so many,
Some capacity that they broke down needs a piece
yeah,
of it in
Yeah.
some way, shape, or form.
Yeah.
I mean,
And if they're strong in one area, that's where they share.
Yeah.
right?
Like,
Right.
like I said, that's what's been
Then
amazing
could
for
be
me to see.
mentoring.
Collaboration, they share each
Yeah.
other.
as well.
Yeah, I would love to, it doesn't have to be tonight, but continue this conversation.
Yeah, for sure.
As like a
Yeah.
prioritization.
For
somehow.
sure.
Yeah,
Agreed.
Yeah.
It would be great if it was its own standalone allied art.
Yes,
Yes.
I
yes.
feel like
That all
Right.
students can have it, yes.
For
It's
everybody.
not now?
Everyone.
It's
No.
so,
I thought-
so it's just
I
like
misheard.
select.
But it's not hitting everybody yet.
It's
It
not,
Okay.
might.
right,
Like if Barb did it on her own,
right,
Yeah, okay.
that
Right.
would be a horse of a different color.
Yeah.
that then
But what a-
everybody would have it at some point. during
What a
their-
wonderful first step.
Yeah,
And
Yeah.
just,
Oh,
you know,
huge.
It's been a game changer already,
Yeah,
And
so
also,
we're at a great start.
this is awesome.
it is nice because as we're piloting this program through 6th grade and having small class sizes, is the nice thing is it does help with just knowing the course, like what's working, and then like I mentioned about interviewing some high school students and get their feedback, because I think students at this age would benefit more from learning and hearing from peers and
Yeah.
older students instead of just adults.
Yes.
They love adults, but they also love older students, and they can have mentors or look up to
Exactly.
those mentors and students as they grow.
So you're picturing that like over time,
Yes,
once these
right.
students continue on
Yes.
and
Yeah.
have like a, yeah, which is
And
just brilliant.
at the end of the
Yeah.
course, I always told my students, and I'm sure you have to, is that this is not the end.
Mm.
You know, like I mentioned with the email, having a support person in the school. I'm not just gonna say, okay, you're done, next group, you know.
Yeah,
I just say, hey, email me, you know where to find me, please reach out, because I'll be happy to help you in what you need as you grow independently.
And that's what's been interesting too, to watch the relationships that are built in this classroom.
Mhm. Because of that.
I know the first group I had, out of 12, it was all boys except for 3 girls. All 3 of them now go to art club with me. And I don't have them anymore.
Yeah.
But they want to be, you know, that like they've
Yes.
created relationships with us and they
Building
know
relations.
truly that
We
we're there
are.
for them.
Yeah.
And they just find other ways that, how can I still see you? Can you come have lunch with me? Can I come
A
have lunch
quick,
with you?
yeah,
So it's been also
check-in.
building those relationships, which is part of it.
Yeah.
Right? That's how we get
Yeah.
to this too.
Well, thank you for your
Yeah.
time.
Thank you, this
Very
is
good.
awesome.
Yeah, quite good.
Thank you. Amazing presentation, thank you.
A couple of
All
quick
around.
observations.
Yes.
Certainly, I think as a board, we would want to hear how this is going again next fall.
Yeah.
It would be awesome if 3 years from now, we could track this cohort. up at the
Exactly,
high school and
exactly.
See how they hit the high
Yeah.
school in
Yes.
terms of their
Yeah.
struggling with learning.
It would be easy enough data.
Thank you,
So for those of
Evie.
you who are still on the board 3 years from now.
Oh,
I just,
sorry. Yeah,
as
you
we
don't wanna lose
transition, I
that.
want to say two things. I want to say thank you to Christine and Tracy. Don't leave yet, my dear. Christine and Tracy and Barb for the work you put into this and the
Yes.
vision.
Yes.
But also Evelyn, right?
Yeah.
Evelyn, what I loved about having you here tonight, I always love when kids come to board meetings, but what I loved about having you here tonight was the way you presented and the way that you composed yourself is a reflection of everything you learned in that class, and you should be so proud of yourself.
Exactly.
Thank you.
Well done.
Yes. Thank you.
Thank you so much for having us.
Thank you so
Yes.
much.
Oh
This
my
was
gosh.
awesome.
Amazing. You know what I love too is that all of that just ties in so beautifully with our strategic goals and also the portrait of graduate.
Yes.
All of it.
Yeah, that
It's like beautiful.
Yeah.
Beautifully tied in.
Good stuff.
Love it.
All right, are we ready to move on to less exciting?
A lot less.
I just have a couple of little things to share. So we do have I had an enrollment update on the agenda for tonight. You have our current enrollment. What you can see when you look at this page in your folder is how we started the year and where we are now. So you can see the ebbs and flows of different grade levels. There's nothing dramatic here. We just keep our eye on it every month, and we'll start looking at it even more closely here in a couple weeks when we get our ED 279s and really start digging into budget. So this is just, important to watch and make sure that we are staffed appropriately and all those sorts of things.
Is the last count column, is that the number that was submitted to the state?
That is the last count as of yesterday.
Oh,
Like,
okay.
Crystal keeps this live for us and
Oh, sorry,
Oh,
okay.
okay.
Yep, I'm sorry.
I
So
was-
the
so I
25,
was
26
curious about
October
that,
was
too.
the one that was submitted, sorry.
correct, yeah,
that-
and that's the number that the state
I did that
uses, that's
backwards.
that October 1, but we also keep track of our live comings and goings as
Sure.
students move in and out. And we're pretty lucky, we don't have a ton of moving, like some places do, but there is a little bit, so that's just
Yeah.
something to keep our eye on. It also tracks our Rollinsford numbers, our students that might be outplaced, that sort of thing. So this is a document that I look at least monthly, and so I thought it might be interesting for you all to see. Thank you.
Thanks.
A little bit about water.
Yes.
So we spent some time in the facilities and finance group talking at length about this, and we'll have a report from that committee shortly. But I just wanted to share that there was an article yesterday in the Portland Press Herald that people may or may not have seen. It's an article about PFAS levels in Maine, and the gist of the article was talking about how the regulations in Maine regarding PFAS levels are going to be changing, and what was considered an acceptable level of PFAS in water was 20 parts per trillion, and that's going to be lowered to 10. And the article, interestingly, name dropped Marshwood Middle School as a municipal or public entity that might be caught in that middle ground. And we were confused because we've done a lot of work on our water in the last several years. So thanks to Ryan's work and Todd's work, we pulled together our most recent water testing and basically our historical water testing ever since we first had a PFAS reading, which was in 2022 or 2023. And we basically installed a PFAS filtration system at that point and have not had a detectable reading since. So I reached out to the reporter that wrote the article and had a conversation with her yesterday and said, I'm frustrated by the way that this was reported because the way your article reads, it's like Marshwood Middle School still has PFAS in our water and we do not, you know, and I think it's unfortunate that you reported on data from 2023.
Yeah.
And so she changed her article. Great. And updated it. So now it does not say anything about Marshwood Middle School at all, and it says that places that originally may have had some low levels may have done some work to remediate that and fix the problem. which
So
is
was the
case.
article already public, though?
It
On
had
their
gone
website.
out on their online, and then when Ryan went back and looked at it today, it had, the section I was concerned about had been updated. So if anybody goes to the article today, they'll see the updated version.
Okay. And there was it wasn't in print, though? Not that
know.
anybody even reads print
Don't know.
anymore, but like, yeah.
It
Okay.
actually got brought to Joe's attention by a community member, though, so I just thought it was important
Wow.
to
A
talk
community
about it
member who works
in
for the South
public.
Berwick Reporter, so. I
Oh,
think there was an anticipated story developing there that is now not a story. Yeah.
Yeah, so the good news is, our water is great.
all right.
Our filtration system works amazingly.
Okay.
And the reporter was receptive to my feedback, so.
Fabulous.
Thank you for doing that. That was good.
Good.
And the much anticipated and very exciting next item on my report is that we are very lucky to have an Iditarod Teacher on the Trail finalist as a staff member in our district. So I did not intentionally
Okay.
leave off the name of the staff member, but apparently it's a big reveal.
Do we want to do a drum roll?
Okay.
Tammy Schaff,
Oh,
sixth grade ELA
awesome.
teacher, has been teaching a really wonderful and extensive unit on the Iditarod to her sixth grade students for many years.
Oh.
And she came to me in the fall and said, I really would love to apply to be the Iditarod Teacher on the Trail. This is what it involves, would you support it? And there's some, you know, if she's, well, I'll explain.
Yeah,
So,
what is this?
it's pretty cool. Basically, the teacher on the trail gets to become an embedded teacher educator during the course of the Iditarod. So they spend like 4 weeks, 5 weeks in Alaska while the Iditarod is going on, and they're reporting back, and they're like this liaison for
my gosh.
schools across the nation and across the world.
My gosh.
But so Tammy is a finalist. So they take all their applicants and they get applications from all over the world, and they narrow it down to 3 finalists. So she was
Oh my
chosen
gosh.
as one of the 3 finalists.
Wow.
Holy smokers.
And she gets to go to Alaska for a week for it's like an interview, right?
Oh my gosh.
So she's going to Alaska the first week in March, and she attends that they have an Iditarod Educator Conference. So she will attend and present at that conference. She'll teach a couple of lessons. She gets to work with the dogs, like learn how the dogs are trained. She gets to work with the mushers and just see the whole thing. And they've told her that essentially she's on the whole time that she's there, right? Like they're watching all 3 of these
So it's
finalists.
almost like a real,
interview.
what do you call it?
It's like a screen test
Like
or
a-
whatever, like a,
Oh my god.
yeah, like an
Like a
on-the-job
reality show.
test kind of thing. Yeah, like a reality show.
Yeah, it's like a reality show.
So she's so excited and grateful that she gets the opportunity, and I met with her yesterday, and we talked through this portion, this is the next step, and so she'll go out there in March, and she should know by the end of April whether she's chosen or not. And if she is, then she essentially will work with them for a whole calendar year,
Oh my gosh.
but she will also get to go and do this cool thing.
Wow. Do you know if she's ever been to Alaska?
I don't. She went to Idaho last summer for something related to this, I
Okay.
believe.
Yep.
Her
and Lynn Walker went to Idaho for an Iditarod PD.
Educator.
Okay.
Yeah.
A week. So cool.
Yeah. So they're very invested, and she put a ton of work into her application. She submitted this beautiful portfolio, and obviously it was successful. So that's great.
So cool.
And yeah, so it's really neat. Yeah. I did talk to her today, and she would love, after she comes back, to come and share it with you.
Yes.
Wow, well, of course.
Please.
Oh my gosh. I've never heard of this.
I just
Like
love that
a-
this is someone's
what?
like
passion.
Yeah.
Yeah,
It was
like,
a
wow.
thing that exists to celebrate that. So
Yeah.
cool. Yes.
So that's some good news. And now, student report. I'll turn it over to
Thank
Zora.
you. As the winter season progresses, many of our sports teams are reaching the middle or end of their season. It depends on the sport. Track and field is preparing to compete in an upcoming MLK Day Invitational. I think we have like 20 people going, which considering the size of our team is a bit smaller this year is like a significant amount. Boys varsity basketball has had a challenging season, but they're continuing to show effort and improvement. And the girls varsity basketball team has a game tomorrow evening at 6 p.m. at Bonnie Eagle. And then the winter, or I'd consider them more winter athletics, remain very active across the school. The girls and boys ski teams have had successful first race of the season, and Hazel Martin placed first overall for the girls, and the boys team finished second overall. And they're both competing at Pleasant Mountain tonight, I believe. And wrestling continues to be a strong program with both the boys and girls teams competing in a tournament this weekend. And the Marshwood, Noble, Trape, Sanford Nighthawks hockey team continues to compete hard, and they have been showing a strong defensive play despite a tough season. And then outside of athletics, our students are preparing for midterm exams, which are scheduled for next week. And I know a lot, if not all, classes are taking time ahead of that to prepare their students in class, which I think is really, really helpful for students. And juniors have begun signing up for SATs, which is a really important step in like college and post-high school planning. And student government policy will be meeting this Friday to continue discussions about student initiatives and school policies, especially relating to like the SAC Pass and how to keep students engaged in that. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Very good.
Here's my report.
Thank you. No correspondence on which to report, so we'll get to the reports of the committees. Finance and Facilities met earlier this evening. I'll do the numbers, and y'all can talk about the other stuff. Let's see, so exactly halfway through our fiscal year, our expenditures and revenues are within a few K of each other, so that's kind of cool to see. General cash balance at the end of December is very healthy. It's in the green by a decent amount. January, however, is a 3 payroll month, so we're expecting that number to dive back down again. That number for next month is probably going to wind up being a little bit under $1 million for general cash, which is not where we want to be, but I think we will weather that particular storm. Just look here, adult education is running a little bit behind where it ought to be right now, but we still haven't gotten the Q2 payment from Kittery, and the December subsidy came in yesterday, so that number will be in next month's report, and that picture will improve. School nutrition, we're running a month behind, so these numbers are for November, and it's currently sitting at about 6K to the positive. There was a note too about acquisition of a vending machine. I think that'll be later on in the report. So overall, the numbers look very good for this point in the year.
So for the rest of it, the high school is buying a vending machine, which is kind of exciting. I remember that being one of the best things growing up. Although there's a lot more food opportunities now than there were when I was growing up. So the vending machine will pay for itself in 1 year, and it will be open and running when the cafeteria is shut down. So kids will have access to meals and snacks for after-school sports and evening activities, which I think will be great. So we talked about the water at MMS already, so I don't think I need to touch too much more on that. Thanks for doing that, Heidi. The air conditioning in the office, in the central office, and the athletic office here at the high school needs updating. We can no longer update the system that we currently have, so we're working on just updating the overall system. That's going to be about $100,000, and they looked at multiple options, and they were all about the same. So that should be done before it gets too hot, so that we can protect those offices and all of the technology that's in there and keep our staff cool and comfortable. We talked about the sewer at Marshwood Middle. We've had some problems over the past couple of years with the leach field, and we've had to remediate that. So ultimately, it's something that we need to update moving forward. And Mr. Hughes received a proposal from Renaud to potentially run a connection from Marshwood Middle to the town's sewer line. And that's pertinent now because the big dig that we've all been undergoing over the last couple of years with updates to road and maintenance is going to be complete in 2028. And so ultimately, if we are going to tap into that line, we need to ideally have that done before they finish their dig. So, and that would run alongside the road. So that's something that's under conversation. It would potentially be that, which would cost around $620,000. Versus a drip dispersal system, which would be an update to our leach field, which would ultimately empty out beyond the fields. This could be complicated because most of the land, or all of the land, is really clay, which is obviously not aerated. And when we put our leach field in before, there had to be a lot of sand placed in there in order for it to work properly. We're already having problems with that. So something that's up for conversation. There is some grant money that could potentially be tapped into from the DEP. So ongoing conversation. And then as far as transportation goes, we are almost fully staffed. We have 2 additional CDL drivers, which were formerly van drivers. So that's great, but now we're down a couple of van drivers. So we're going to be advertising, I think even on some of the buses, we're going to have advertisements, which will be.
I saw the one on the screen on the.
When you drive up Route 4, you know, the bus garage is right there on the side of the street. So our vision is to park a bus near the road and put this big banner on it so people can see when they drive by.
That's so cool.
But we also put it on the high school sign and the middle, the Great Works School digital sign.
Oh,
just
good.
because I feel like people
No,
might
that
not
has to
necessarily
be-
think about,
Right, yeah.
oh, I could be a van driver. And
And
the
they're
pay
not
is pretty
on
good.
social or
and
Hubby
it's-
Ba- yeah, yeah.
I mean, it's just one more way to try to get the word out.
That's such a
People-
good
It's a great
idea.
idea.
So you don't need a special license to drive a van, right? Like,
Right.
that-
to pass your health tests, I think.
It's a lot easier.
Yeah.
a lot
you don't
easier.
need
It's just a DOT physical and a drug test, and
Oh.
it can be done within about a week. There's no special training
No
aside from just
special
some
training.
orientation.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's
So
amazing.
hopefully there's people out there that would love to come drive a van for us.
Oh, yeah. That's wonderful.
Where
Yeah.
are they putting the vending machine?
Oh, it's gonna be in the hallway, like when you head into the gym, there's that hallway that runs
yeah.
and
Yes.
goes
Yeah.
down by the cardio room. It's gonna be
Yes.
right in there.
Oh, nice.
Can I be a total stick in the mud and ask what it's like?
What are
What's
we
going in
vending?
there?
It's gonna be
Monster
food.
Energy drink?
Like
No, no, no,
actual
no.
food.
Okay,
Yeah,
it's
yeah.
gonna be food from, it's a Chartwell's thing.
Like sandwiches and.
Sandwiches,
Oh,
salads.
Yeah, meals.
Okay,
Oh,
that's
grab and go.
amazing.
Yeah.
Cool.
Yeah.
Grab and go.
It will be
Very
locked
cool.
during the school
Okay.
day, so you can't have access. So as soon as the kitchen is closed, they'll have access
Cool.
to lunch.
And kids can use
Fabulous.
their accounts.
Oh.
Their lunch accounts to.
Oh my gosh,
Wow.
that's brilliant.
Yeah, it's a
Okay.
smart system, it's great.
Wow, awesome.
I didn't understand.
Thank you for that
Okay.
The
explanation.
only other thing was that our food service manager at Central has resigned, and we've hired a new person for that job.
Oh,
Did you have anything else?
All right. No, I think we've covered it. Thank you.
Thank you. Ed Policy will next meet on January 28th, so we'll get an update at our first meeting in February. And Wellness and SEL will next meet just prior to that next meeting in February. So that concludes our report of the committees and brings us to our only item of new business. May I have a motion, please, with regard to Elliott Rec using our buses?
Yeah, I move to approve the Elliott Rec Department to use MSAD 35 transportation for the attached February trips.
I'll second, Kate.
Kate, thank you. And that's actually attached to this agenda, I believe.
Yes.
yep.
Yes.
Great.
Yeah.
Yep. These are, we do this every year.
We have
right?
done this.
Yeah,
Yes.
it's just during break, right? I think it's just all the fun places.
Any comments or questions? All in favor? That is 6-0, thank you. Concludes new business. Last thing, building administrator check.
Well, we heard a lot about the middle school. Do you want more? Do you have more things? I do have more, but.
Yeah.
You can
No,
say
let's
more.
go.
Yes, please, say more.
I'll try to be quick. Our sixth grade went to the soup kitchen. Tammy Schaff and Christy Corvo took them today and take them often, and they introduced them to community service, prepare meals, package meals, desserts, wash dishes, clean tables, empty trash, do outdoor deliveries for about 150 customers that come for the soup kitchen, which is a really great opportunity for our sixth graders. Wow. Chris Bison put on another great concert last night for the chorus concert, and you just saw a taste of the two students that did the ASL. The third student was there, and they did just a fabulous job. She also had a visiting artist, Kaya Mack, who was a returning Marshwood student. She came and did her songwriting techniques and original works at our school, and the students, she was signing students' sneakers and stuff and sang for them, so that was really, really cool before the break. When I went on one of my ELE PDs, I went up to Oxford County, and Lynn Eisner and Matt Brackett, our sixth grade science teacher, took advantage of one of the resources, and on Wednesday, December 17th, the Marshwood sixth graders had the unique opportunity to participate in a hands-on enrichment experience with Deb Johnson from the Maine Mineral and Gem Museum in Bethel, Maine. Ms. Johnson began the visit with an engaging 15-minute presentation focused on granite, during which the students learned how granite was formed, what minerals it composed of, its historical importance of the state, and its role in construction of bridge and other structures. Following the presentation, students returned to their science classroom to apply their learning through a STEM design challenge. Working collaboratively in small groups, students were given sugar cubes and frosting to engineer a bridge structure. Each bridge had to be strong enough to allow a small toy car to travel underneath and go on top without a structure collapsing. This challenge encouraged problem solving, creativity, and teamwork while reinforcing real-world engineering concepts. The enrichment activity aligned with the sixth grade science standards, and students had just completed a unit that included the rock cycle that day prior to the visit. By connecting classroom learning to hands-on application, the experience deepened students' understanding and providing exciting, memorable day to explore the science behind Earth's materials and their practical uses. So that was fun. This week we haven't had bar. We stopped bar for a week so we could have instructional rounds. And so the purpose of the instructional rounds is for staff to be able to pop into their colleagues' classrooms in order to gain knowledge of positive practices, routines, instructional strategies, and just to observe each other and the other effective approaches. And so we had, I think, 16 teachers volunteered to let other staff members come in and observe them. So the best PD is observing your peers. So we have that happening right now at our school. And so that's all I have from Marshwood Middle School.
Thank you so much.
Thank you. Thank you again for,
Yeah.
it was so fun, that presentation.
So exciting.
Thank you for
Yeah,
facilitating that.
Great.
Mr. Gowan?
Taking notes.
No, sorry. You gave me an idea, so I had to write it. Last time I was here, there was a lot from the high school about NEASC, but having, I guess, that boulder out of the way, just to focus on some other things that are happening and what's coming up. Shorty practices at the high school, we are through 6 of those 9 units, so we're 2/3 of the way through as a staff on restorative practices training. We have Stacey Barley from the States coming back on March the 12th, I think it is. 13th. March 13th, to talk with us some more and work with the I team, particularly around developing the plan for this year, but also for ongoing years. As we've always said, the idea of our restorative practices was to lay the groundwork, do really well, get a comfort level with it, start to expand. So we have that sort of language in our classrooms, in our community. And it's going really well as it is, but we're still committed to expanding that out. So it's been a good experience for us. So we're 2/3 of the way through, which is great. I was also thinking about the fact that we started the evening with an incredibly well-poised young lady who spoke about her experience in growing hawks, and it reminded me that I was in a classroom at the high school which was actually about English 101, an English comm class. These students at the high school had done a longer research project, and they had to do essentially a stump speech, which you'd come up to them and say, hey, what was your project about? This is a project about fast fashion or altitude training. There was a young student did something on the firefighting equipment. But that ability to have poise and composure speaking to any audience, as you saw from 6th grade, but also at the high school level as well. So it's great to go into classes, but also see how they are obviously sort of transfer goals for life. That's a great example of what's happening in a classroom. That's also a dual enrollment class at YCCC as well. That's an important thing to stress. Since I think last we were here, we had the National Honor Society induction ceremony, which I don't know if that got mentioned last time. My privilege to be there, wonderful example of the students we have in the school and what they're doing academically, but also for their community and service to be part of their welcome into the NHS, and looking forward to what they're doing in the weeks and months ahead to develop more of that service. Also, we had that assembly for Nick Tucker on December the 9th that I believe I shared wider with the community. But that day, actually, we also had 10 students who went to the SMAA Student Leadership Summit, along with our athletic director, Mr. Buzzell. Every member school sent those students based on not just their athleticism, but also their character and leadership. And they had a chance to engage in workshops around leadership and citizenship. And they had reportedly, from Mr. Buzzell, had a wonderful time in that community of leadership amongst student athletes. As Zora mentioned, we have midterms. They're still happening, so they haven't been cancelled. But I just wanted to reinforce that our counselling department is also, during the time we have midterms, we have periods in the day where students are here on campus and preparing for their midterms, and they have some examples of some de-stressing activities. So stress relief activities which will be offered during periods when exams are not held. Activities that will be offered will include aromatherapy, putty, glitter jars, and DIY fidget toys. So if you're a student, you're thinking, just let me calm down for my exam, head over to the counselling department and you can get some de-stressing over there. And then when we come back in semester 2, we actually have a midwinter dance plan for January the 30th. And we also have some other spirit activities, but I think the student government's been working on to get going in the beginning of February as well. That should be a nice way to welcome people back to semester 2. And lastly, another thread you mentioned sometimes when we appear in the newspaper. I want to just put a nice plug in for other publications that are available with the Seacoast Online, does the Seacoast Student of the Week. And we've had a couple of students who've been nominated and placed in that. So it's always great to hear those stories about our students, celebrations of what they're doing for our community. So keep looking out for those across the rest of the semesters. Faculty nominates and we suggest those. It's just wonderful to see positive stories in the newspaper about our students. Even if we don't have them in print anymore, they're online.
Yeah.
That's what's happening in the high school.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Last thoughts from the board? I will entertain a motion to adjourn.
I move to adjourn tonight's meeting.
Kate, all in favor? That is 6-0, and we are adjourned.
Thank you.